Hola, hola. ¿Cómo están? Doing okay? All right, let me get a couple more people in here and we'll get to it. All righty. So again, if you can get on that camera for me, make sure I know that you're there. Always helpful. I'm going to give you some time to do some Quizlet in a minute when you can turn it back off. But again, if you can get it on, it shows me you're there. It shows me you're paying attention. It makes us a little easier to communicate. And so please get it on. Okay. If not, you're always ready to answer if I ask you a question. All right, so let's see. Yesterday we spent a bunch of time on Quizlet, not on Quizlet, well, on your vocab words on Nearpod. So hopefully words like El Banco and La Farmacia are kind of coming together for you. Today we are going to continue with vocab for a little bit, and then we're going to kind of go into some preterite a little bit. So we'll kind of do a little bit of both. Getting ready for a quiz, last quiz of the semester on Friday. Main focus will be vocab and then the verbs ser and ear in the preterite tense. So make sure you are paying attention to all of that today. And as always, make sure you check your grades. Make sure you check Skyward. Nothing should be a surprise. I updated grades today. I put in your vocab list and your crossword. If you have a 0 on any of those, please get that stuff in. All right. So they were both easy points. Nothing is easier than vocab list, where you're literally just translating, and crossword, where you're using your vocab list to just write out the words. So if you have not turned either of those things in, you have a 0 out of 20 because they were 10 points each. So get me those things ASAP. All right. Okay, so I want to give you the first 10 minutes of class today to work on some Quizlet. Okay, when I give you this time, I want you to use it. I don't want you to waste it. What I am expecting, what I recommend is you pick 5 words to work on. Once you learn those 5 words, you pick another 5 words to work on. Then you work on those 10 words and you build it up until you get through your list. There is no reason, especially if you started with us yesterday, that you shouldn't have a pretty good grasp on all of these words between now and Friday. So let's spend our time wisely. Go ahead and head to my current lesson if you are not there yet. Click on number 1, which is the link to Quizlet, and I will put 10 minutes on the clock and use your time. Okay, I can't make you use it, but it'll sure come in handy on Friday's quiz if you do what I am asking you to do. So don't waste it. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. Work on flashcards unless you're feeling really good about this stuff, then you can play a game. All right, so I've got 10 minutes on my clock. If you have any questions for me about anything, put them in the chat. If I have a question for you, I already know I need to, let's see, talk to Sky. So I will message you in the chat in just a second. Otherwise, ready, set, go. Okay, work on vocab. Okay, if you just joined us, please go to your current lesson, click on number 1 on Quizlet. You learned 10 new words there. Again, do a little bit every time I give you time, and you will find yourself in pretty good shape for your quiz on Friday. So make sure you take advantage of that time. All right, I would now like to switch gears and go back and review a little bit of preterite with you. You had a quiz over preterite right before break that I want to give you a chance to look at. So that's where we're going to go now, and then I will let you put any questions that you have for me in the chat. So if you would kindly head back to your current lesson, and you will see that under number 2, it says review la prueba de pretérito. So why don't you go ahead and click on that, and it'll take you to your preterite quiz. And I would like you to spend a couple minutes looking over it. We are by no means done with preterite. Okay, this is an ongoing thing. We're going to keep working on it. You'll see more questions on preterite on your quiz on Friday. You got to know this stuff, and we just start adding more and more irregulars to it. So please put questions in the chat if you don't understand something, and I will give you 2-3 minutes to look things over, and then I will start going through questions. All right. So get to it. Like I said, if you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, like that makes sense, no worries. But if you look at it and you're like, nope, I don't get it, put it in the chat and I will address your questions. Jaden, I see your question. No, you should have already taken it. I feel like you were excused from that. Tomorrow. If you're having a hard time with stuff, we now have that little slot from 10:30 to 11 every day. Monday it's homeroom, but Tuesday through Friday it's student support time. So you can go to any of your teachers on a Tuesday through Friday, join their Zoom anytime between 10:30 and 11, and I would be happy to go through your quiz with you one-on-one if you did really badly. I met with a few people today. If you need a redo or something like that because you really did not do well and you feel like you understand it now, then just come and see me. All right, that 10:30 to 11 slot is there every day now. Okay, so please let me know if you still have questions about anything. Otherwise, we are going to move on just a little bit here and add to our list. So we're not really done, we're just adding to it. All right, so if you want to go back and kind of go back to our agenda here under current lesson, you will see that we are now going to review the verbs ir and ser. This is under number 3. You have notes on these. I will screen share them, but I want you to make sure that you see where they are so that you can print them or add them to your notes so that you can access them as well. All right, so let me get about 5 minutes of your time is all I need here to make sure you understand this new verb. So again, go ahead and look at my screen. I am screen sharing. These are just the notes. You've seen them all before. Oh, I must have typed on there for some reason. So let's see here. I don't know why it's doing something funky. Hold on. Show that one more time. Okay, so here's what we're talking about. Preterite. Here are your AR endings. You just had a quiz over that. You've had 2 quizzes over that now, in fact. Here are your ER and IR endings. Just had a quiz over those. All right, at the bottom, here are your car, gar, and zar verbs that I was literally just talking about, right? The C changes to a QU, the G changes to a GU, and the Z changes to a C in the yo form. Okay, so those 2 things we have talked about now. We are right here in the middle, please. This is your verb for the week. Okay, do lots of practice on this verb right here. About half of you said you'd seen it before and half of you had not when I asked you before break. So let's all focus on it right now and make sure you get it. All right, right here in the middle. So here's what we have. Like I said, I need 5 minutes or less of your focus. So get your focus, get your focus, get your focus. All right, we have 2 verbs. They are super common. Ser, to be, ir, to go. In the preterite, in the past tense, they conjugate to the same verb. What's nice for you is then you only have to learn 1 verb. You do have to look at the difference, but it's usually pretty easy to see. You have to look at what it means. This little word ir, when we use it as ir, it usually has an A after it because you're saying, I went to a party. Fui a la fiesta. So usually when it's used as ir, you'll see an a after it. All right, so here's what we have. I was, you were, he was, we were, you all were, they were. And then we have I went, you went, he went, we went, you all went, they went. So that's where I got was and went. First thing I want you to notice is there are no accents. I will say that again. First thing I want you to notice is there are no accents. I'm going to start giving you a bunch of irregulars. None of them have accents. All right. Next thing I want you to notice is it's just a weird verb, but there is a little pattern to it. Okay. Compare it to your ER endings up above. This one ends with I. That one ends with I, just no accent. Iste is the same. The L form is not the same. It's weird. Imos is the same. Istes is the same. And then you have, instead of ieron, just eron. So almost the same, just no I there. All right, I'm going to say them for you. I would love for you to repeat them. Yo fui. Repeat it. Tú fuiste. Él fue. Nosotros fuimos. Vosotros fuisteis. And ellos fueron. All right. So say it with me. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fuisteis, fueron. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fuisteis, fueron. All right. By Friday, you need to be able to go fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos. I won't even make you do vosotros, and fueron. So really you have 5 words to learn by Friday, along with your vocab, but only 5 verbs. All right. So we are going to take these and we are going to practice with them right now. I would like to start your final assignment for today. It can be finished probably right now and doesn't have to be homework. So I would like you to please go to your textbook and I will meet you there. Let's do the first ones together. All right. So you're headed to Pearson. There's no reason not to get this done right now. I'm going there too. All righty. So once you get there, you should see a guided grammar on Ser and ear. Mine's not working, so I'm going to reload it. It may take me a minute to get there.
We're going to textbook, right?
Yes. Okay, go to Pearson, go to your textbook, go to
Miss
assignments.
Kimberly, are you going to explain number 1? Because I have some questions about it.
Oh, on the textbook?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm headed there right now. We'll start it together. All right, so let's see. I'm almost there. Okay. So I will go ahead and screen share so you can follow along, especially if you have a question. But otherwise, you should fill it in on yours so that you can turn it in. All right. So here's what you should be looking at. Guided grammar, irregular verbs, ear and ser. Okay, it looks like this. So don't stress. The first one has a few drop boxes. The next page is all just like one answer per page. Okay, so look, here are your choices. Yo fui, tú fuiste, él fue, nosotros fuimos, vosotros fuisteis, ellos fueron. All right, so choose the right form. You only have 2 choices. So let's do 1 and 2 together. And then I think that was Kira. You can ask me if you have any other questions. So this is a little letter. It says, Hola, Margarita. Ayer, yesterday, blank, un día muy interesante. So again, I have to decide if it's went or was. Yesterday was an interesting day. So I go to my Dropbox and which one means was? It was. So it's yesterday, not we were or we went. It was. So I would choose fue for my first answer. Does that help? Anybody have a question on that one? All right, let's do another one. First, mi familia y yo, my family and I, blank al parque zoológico. So my family and I blank to, there's that little to the zoo. So I'm going to look at this. Is it going to be fue or fuimos? Well, if it's my family and I, somebody tell me, what should I pick?
Fuimos.
Yeah, right. My family and I fuimos. We went to the park. Does that answer your question? Whoever just asked me that? Does that help? Or is there another one you wanted to look at? You can just unmute and tell me if you want me to look at a different one. Okay. Well, then, let's see. Okay, so I'm just looking at my chat here. A few of you, it looks like you can't get there. So here's what I'm going to say. Stay with me for one more minute. Let me just show it to you. Then if you need to shut it down, it's probably a Wi-Fi thing because it's been working all day. So if your textbook ever doesn't work, I would just shut it down, try it again. Or if it's not working now, try it in an hour. It is what it is. Jaden, I will help you get there in just a second. Okay, so everybody else, you can work your way through. You just pick whichever one makes more sense. If you go to the next button, when you finish that page, then you just have one per page, but you do have to write it down. Like you have to spell it out. So anoche yo fui, right? No accent, so you don't have to worry about any symbols. Okay, so that's what I want you to work on now. You've got 10 more minutes of class. That is homework. I want that finished up for tomorrow. Feel free to work on Quizlet if you're feeling stressed out about vocab. Otherwise, just finish that up. And I don't mind if you know what you're doing and you want to leave the Zoom, that's fine.